Hi, welcome to Parents Gap Year, the podcast that celebrates
living to travel and travelling to live.
I'm Ann-Marei Rod, filmmaker and radio presenter.
And I'm Rod Gray, videographer and photographer.
We're married.
To each other.
And as our children are young adults who've almost fled the nest, this year we're travelling around the world ourselves.
Lots of people say they'd like to do this, so we're having a go at showing you how it can be done, with some top tips along the way.
So this is our warts and all travel experience where we reveal our highs and lows, what we learn about each other.
And more importantly, the great characters that we meet along the way.
No work for the next years, no thinking of all the problems at home, just enjoying our life as long as we want and as long as we can do it.
It's Christmas Day, and like any good monarch, got to do a Christmas message. So I thought I'd do it from sat on my throne.
Rod, unfortunately, is back in the room because he's been hit by some very bad tummy bug, everything exploding everywhere. Well, we're still in Laos, en route to the sanctuary for Christmas.
Travelling on the worst road yet, but the best train, mixed with a bit of tummy trouble.
So we've travelled from Luang Prabang via high-speed train, which is Chinese run, very smart, and we had to show our passports and tickets before we went in to the station.
Buy the ticket with it, just that way.
We had to go through security and have our bags go through X-ray.
Had to empty my bag entirely for a butter knife, still in my bag.
Which you'd forgotten, and then you discovered was buried under the lining, so it looked very suspicious.
Stuck in the lining of my suitcase, yes.
You couldn't find it for ages.
Smuggling butter knives around the country.
Yeah. So advice to anybody travelling, make sure you give it about an hour before your train ride to get to the station, because not only do you have to go through security, this is the Chinese run stations, and then you have to check in 20 minutes before your train arrives.
And then show your passport another couple of times.
Yeah, and then you get on the train.
Oh yes, very orderly, and we're getting shouted at with people in megaphones as you cross the line.
Yeah.
And obviously no butter knives allowed.
No butter knives, yeah.
A big bottle of Prosecco made it through.
Yeah, he actually checked that out. That's our little treat for Christmas Day, because wine or Prosecco is about 20 quid in Laos.
I'll have to find another knife to cut the Parmesan cheese at fast cost as well. Oh, hang on, cows on the road.
Cow on the road.
Cows on the road. Literally a herd of cows on the road, and a big truck bearing down on us and overtaking. Okay, we are not on the train now.
No, we are now on our route to our retreat, our sanctuary.
Christmas sanctuary retreat on the, reading from my map, Ngum, probably pronounced differently, reservoir. I might treat myself to a jet ski for Christmas.
And the waterfalls were exquisite.
Oh, amazing.
In
Beautiful
steps.
colour.
Yeah. What was the name of the waterfall? Do you remember?
Wangxi.
It's the main waterfalls that people go to in this region.
Turquoise blue, they got.
It was quite high up.
Beautiful waterfall, which was quite a steep incline.
Very
to get
steep.
up.
It was
And
2
a bit-
kilometres up, you know.
You're kidding.
Well, from the bottom all the way up to the top was 2 kilometres.
Wow.
Right.
In flip-flops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In flip-flops and a slippy path. I mean, get to the top. But it was well worth it.
That swim at the top was amazing, wasn't it?
It
We were the only
was.
ones. We were the only ones up there. We had the pool to ourselves, or the lake to ourselves. So I didn't take a towel or anything to get changed into, because I thought it was going to be lovely and hot, and I'd dry for 2 seconds, and that would be that. But actually, when we came out, I was absolutely freezing, and luckily, Ann-Marei and Rod had towels. So thank you, Ann-Marei.
My top and my extra scarf. I'm a just-in-case person, so I always have bigger bags than everybody else.
You did come to our rescue.
Yeah.
And also, thanks to your good thinking, we also had cake with us, didn't we?
We did, because I prepped the night before. I said, I've seen amazing cake, and we had lunch, which was
Mango again.
right on the top. We had mango, fresh mango,
Nuts. And
nuts and cake.
banana cake, which was nice, wasn't
Yeah.
it? Chocolate cake.
which was fantastic. And the view was utterly breathtaking. But then coming down, this is a very rickety road. Top tip, leave early, because while we were coming down, a lot of the tourists were going up. A great deal of Chinese tourists because it's that time of year.
And the new train line that connects it up.
We would have found that very,
It would have been a bit dangerous.
treacherous,
So it's
yeah.
quite slippery.
Do you hear that? Oh my God. These roads are not
I think this is why people take the train, because it's very slow and heavy going on the roads. And this is one of the main roads. 20 people, we just went past a truck full of people, like a pickup truck, with about 20 people all stood up in there, presumably workers, on their way
people
home.
and animals. We've just seen another one with the animals in part of the back, and then some guys barefoot standing on the back.
And there's a moped with a lot of stuff loaded on it.
My goodness.
Can't be easy on these roads.
One thing you really notice is our idea of health and safety is very different, obviously. No one wears
more
helmets.
cows. More
Yeah,
cows.
loads of cows. On the road. Virtually no one wears a helmet on scooters. The odd person.
There are often 4 or 5 on a scooter.
Yeah,
But in
that's-
Cambodia, it's hilarious. You'll see pigs on the back of scooters and things like that. Yeah.
It's all relative, isn't it?
It's all relative.
But having said all that, people drive very slowly. I think they do because there's
They
so
do.
many potholes.
Yeah.
That's what I can say. It's night time now and we're about to rock up to our new resort. And hopefully this is where we're going to spend Christmas and have the most relaxing, luxurious time.
Well, it's Rod here, and I'm on my own. As you can hear from the echoey environment, I'm in the toilet. It's Christmas Day, and like any good monarch, got to do a Christmas message. So I thought I'd do it from sat on my throne here on the toilet. And because I'm sure a lot of you are fascinated now about the scatological and lavatorial setups within the Asian area. So I'll give you a little snapshot while I'm here on my throne. You'll be pleased to hear that toilets are fairly normal in Asia. You do get the odd long drop, squat toilet here and there, but most of them are just normal European toilets. Mixed with a bit of spicy food and good coffee. It's important to have good toilets. And as some of you all know, I've had a bit of a delicate tummy for the last few years, so spicy food and coffee has its effect. So here in Asia though, they don't like putting toilet paper down on the toilets because it clogs the pipes, I guess. So they ask you to put all the paper in the bin. Now, I can hear you all shrieking, so they have a wonderful solution, which I shall try and demonstrate with the use of sound. So they have attached to the back of the toilet a little shower head, tiny little shower head with a push button on it. And if you push the button, out comes the water. So you can use this to clean your precious derriere, particularly effectively and delightfully cooling and soothing if the spicy food is affecting you. Firstly, carry Imodium with you. Magic, works every time. If the food's a bit too spicy, have some Rennie with you at all the time. I'm not entirely sure of the best technique. I've decided sitting down is definitely the best way and spraying from behind going forward. But I'm sure you can, maybe write into the podcast and let us know your own techniques. But it's a joyful thing, and I think I shall get one at home. It's like a mini bidet attached to the toilet. That's my Christmas message to you all from my porcelain throne, from the monarch of the toilet.
So we're in Ngum. Tell me your name.
My name is Carmen.
You're with your husband here.
Yeah.
So tell me about why you've decided to travel. You've been traveling a long time.
I think the idea was because, kids are growing up now. They don't need me anymore. The job was going on. Life was going on, quite boring. We are from a very small city in Austria, so not much happens there. And I guess we both needed a new adventure, something new in our life.
Yeah, because you're not 25 like a lot of travellers. I'm not going to ask you your age.
You can ask, no problem. I'm 50.
You're 50,
yeah.
Okay. So you're at that sort of sweet spot in life when your kids are grown, your older parents or whatever are still okay, hopefully, fingers crossed, which is exactly the stage we're at.
Yeah.
And that's why we decided, isn't it? Really, we needed an adventure.
It was a moment to take a break for us as well.
Tell us what you've done and how long you've been away.
We sold our house in summer 22. We sold everything at home. We quit the job, sold the company, and just started traveling. Everybody's told us, said to us, "You're so brave," and you sold everything. But I think it's not that brave to travel with a lot of money. We can go back every time if we want. So I always said I think it was much more brave are the people who left their home with nothing, and it's always more difficult they started somewhere else. We only want to travel. We only want to enjoy our life. No work for the next years. No thinking of all the problems at home, just enjoying our life as long as we want and as long as we can do it. And then if we have enough, then we go back and we start again. We find an apartment. Maybe it's not in Austria, maybe it's somewhere else. But till now I haven't found a place where I would like to live.
Well, that's what's interesting. We found this as well. Rod sold a house a year ago and decided, I don't want to just buy another property. Obviously, you would think buying a property abroad would be the thing to do, which a lot of people do. But, travelling is fun for the sake of moving to different places, isn't it?
I'm too curious of what's over the hill and round the corner to go to the same place all the time. So I hear about people who have bought a property and they spend all their time going back to the same place, which is very reassuring for some people, but then there's maintenance and there's overheads, and if you're letting it out, it often is the times that you'd rather be there. So I think the money you can spend on a second home somewhere in the world, you can spend a lot on lovely villas or hotels around the world and go to different places.
So you had a shop and your husband is a masseuse?
Yeah, he worked in the same hotel for more than 20 years. So it was a little bit boring.
He wanted a break from the routine.
Yeah. And my shop, I had a chocolate shop with a mini cafe included, and it was running. It was very good. It was a good idea that I had it 10 years ago, but the kind that everything was very small, and I only worked on my own all the time. I had the feeling that the guests, which I loved, but they took my energy. They took too much of my energy. They knew more about us than our family. Because everything was so small in the shop and in the cafe, so they knew everything about us, and I knew everything about them.
And this was in the small town that you live in? Yeah.
There are only 12,000 people, and everybody knows everybody, and
everybody likes chocolate.
Everybody loves chocolate. That was a good idea, yeah. It was fun to work there. I really loved it. Yeah, but now I thought it's time to leave. I have no energy for me. No energy for my family. My only day off was the Sunday, and I wanted to see nobody. I was really like, don't call me, didn't want to go anywhere. I was so, and then I said I want to stop it now. on the highest level before it goes down and down and down.
Leave on the high.
And the thing is, you get to a certain point in your life where you're going, I know what's around the corner to a certain extent. I know my job. I know the people I work with. I know the routine we have as a family. But the only thing that takes you out of that is travel, isn't it? Travel to live and live to travel. And that is true.
Yeah.
Because we've only been away nearly a month. And it feels like we've been away for a very long time because we've moved around so much.
And every day's a new experience.
Yeah.
Can you remember how many countries have you seen so far in the last year? You've been to
Counting on her
Thailand.
fingers.
It's mainly
Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, Australia, Vietnam, Cambodia, and now Laos.
Yeah.
So your husband has just flip-flopped over. We share balconies because we've all been upgraded to these so-called posher rooms, which neither of us wanted to do really. So what's your name? Are you willing to talk to us? Come on. You wouldn't flip-flop over without wanting to talk. Come on.
My name is Klaus Hofer. I'm a mountain man from Austria.
And you're a masseuse.
Yes, I'm a professional masseur over 30 years now, and I worked always in different 4-star hotels, last 20 years in my hometown.
What led you into being a masseuse? Was it just something you really wanted to do? Or?
When I was younger, I tried much different jobs. I want to work with people, and as a masseur, it was easy.
So yesterday we were chatting and you were saying you were very fit before, because I'm now getting worried. A month in, I'm going, the wobbly bits are getting wobblier. I'm trying. You've watched me doing my skipping on the deck. I'm trying to do some plank. But you were saying you need to do how many planks a day?
Yeah, 10 times a day, every plank, 1 minute or more.
That's a commitment.
Yeah.
But he's also lazy, so
Oh
it's
yeah, I
not
got lazy, yeah.
that
So you're not actually doing that yourself, are you?
Oh yeah.
But how do you? I mean, if you're already a year in, how do you look after your physical self when you're moving around and you're eating? I mean, we're eating the most gorgeous food where we are. The food is fab, and when you have breakfast laid on, you tend to eat
big
more.
buffet, yeah.
What have you guys been doing to keep yourselves fit?
Oh, I was never a sports lady. I was always working. That was enough. I was almost the whole day on my feet. And now I eat less than at home. I was eating much more at home
Me
than
too.
here.
Yeah.
And now here we are really lazy, so we do nothing the whole day. But usually we're on the beach and we are going to some waterfalls or do some hiking.
So do you do
bit of swimming.
exercise as well?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you particularly.
Not regelmäßig. Not every day. Yeah, that's the problem. At home, my sport was the work. Yeah, when you go for massage, you give massage over 5-6 hours per day. That's a good training for the body. Yeah? I get fatter in the middle of my body, but I lost muscles on my fingers. And I was swimming in the pool and shaking my hands, and then I lost my ring. I said, "Oh my God!" But I found it, and now I put it on the right side. Here it fixed. Yeah.
Because the muscles in your fingers have
Yeah.
lessened.
Yeah.
For 2 years, this muscle was about double.
So if you were going to advise anybody at your stage of life, which is midlife, yeah, about travel, what would you recommend?
They're pausing for thought.
That's very difficult. Just go for it. Do it. Don't think about too much. Life is too short, and you never know what will be tomorrow. Enjoy every day. That's what we are trying to do, and I think we are. We learn every day how other people live, how life can be, even if they are not so rich, if their houses are not so big as at home. But we see that people are still happy, and life is not all about a big house and a big garden and a new car. That's only material things.
And everybody at home say, "Oh, don't do it. It's so dangerous. I cannot understand the language. I don't like the food." It's no problem. Especially in Asia, it's easy to travel. They are very friendly. You are safe everywhere. And if your English, like my English, is not so good, you learn it.
Don't think about too long. Just do it, and
Yeah.
I think you can always go back, and you can always start again. And we say in Austria, if one door is closing, another one will open.
Yeah.
So and that was always in my life. And I believe that it will continue.
When you get older, travel in warm lands. It's good for your body.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
I talk about it. I train at home every day and do my job, but I get problems with my hands, my ankles, my knees, and so on. Now we are here over a year in this warm land, the Salt Sea. We are both strong smokers. I can breathe. No pain in my knees. I feel more flexible. Yeah.
And do you think you might give up smoking?
Maybe in Australia, the cigarettes are so expensive.
So expensive.
Maybe.
I don't know. I really I enjoy every cigarette that I smoke.
When we stop traveling, we have to work for some years. Half a year in the warm season at home in Europe.
Yeah.
And the rest of over winter, half a year in a warmer village. Especially our favorite in the moment is Thailand.
Yes.
Yeah. When we combinate it to earn the money in the summer and then to go for half a year to Thailand.
Thailand's certainly a sweet spot, what I call a Goldilocks place, where the sort of climate, money goes further, the infrastructure's good, the systems work. It's not too corrupt, but it does seem, one of those special places in the world that was, and that's why a lot of people have gone there and travelled there. Because it is, and here I think in Laos is quite a special place. Well, it's less infrastructure and more nature, but the food's fantastic here as well, and your money probably goes a bit further as well. I think someone said sort of travel can be difficult, but routine will kill you.
I'm with Izzy and Sophie, and Rod, unfortunately, is back in the room because he's been hit by some very bad tummy bug, which is like a gastroenteritis or it's food poisoning. Lots of cramping, everything exploding everywhere. So he's had a terrible night, and we just moved from Vientiane to the capital city of Laos. And we got a slower train, not the high-speed train, still owned by the Chinese and very well run, but less checking of our passports and all that than the high-speed train. Interesting. So we arrived last night, and Rod was feeling unwell on our way to the train station. We reckon it might be some rice that he had, fried rice, which I also ate, but he seems to have got a reaction from it. Anyway, we're flying out to Siem Reap tomorrow, and hopefully he'll be able to do the flight because it'd be nice. If he can't, it's fine. We'll have to move the flights. There's no urgency, and there's no place we need to be beyond that. We haven't planned anything else other than 2 flights to Siem Reap tomorrow via Bangkok. Yeah, so our last day with our amazing travelling buddies, Izzy and Sophie, who've been nothing but fun and interesting and calm and feeling very energetic this morning, unlike poor Rod, who's laid up. And hopefully with a full day of rest and no food and just water and some medication to keep things down, he should be okay by tomorrow. Fingers crossed. So this is our last night together.
Last night together.
I know.
We are in Vientiane now.
That's right, which none of us will ever come back to.
Vientiane is dust, dirty, ugly city. Ugly. The markets all have the same rubbish.
Clothes. Luang Prabang have lots of lovely clothes.
We are sitting in a lovely French restaurant, however.
We are.
Where we're being ignored. Hello.
All the other meals we've gone local food. This is our first European
I haven't had any of
in a month.
Not even allowed to mention food to God.
No, let's not talk about food right now.
We are in the corner in the
They
restaurant.
don't like us.
It is a nice restaurant.
You've been
Because you
ignored
speak
somewhat.
French, maybe.
Maybe.
You're challenging them. They know you can hear what
And they're
they're saying.
thinking only one to share, but two spoons. Thank you.
Rod has actually shown up for the night. So you've had,
It's been a bit of a write-off for me.
today has been pretty tough. And last night, yeah.
No need to go into details for the listener.
But Imodium is a...
Imodium is the winner.
Do you think we should mention the loos were closed at the train station?
Everything was closed at the train station. Yeah.
However, we were delighted to find hot noodles. And they have a hot water dispenser.
No cold water.
No
Lots
cold
of hot
water, so you have to buy plastic water bottles again. And that's one thing we've noticed a lot in Laos. There's a lot of plastic.
There's a lot of plastic all over Laos, really, isn't there?
Yeah.
They put things in paper to then put that paper into plastic.
Yeah. But very reasonable in general, isn't it? To eat out is really reasonable.
Food's amazing.
The food is gorgeous.
Food has been good.
The people are fab. Apart from poor Rod, we're just going through our highlights of what we think. If we were advising anybody to come to Laos, where would we recommend?
Luang Prabang.
It was a gem.
It was a gem. I think the resort we had been at for Christmas, 4 days over Christmas, that was phenomenally
that was
gorgeous. Yeah. So relaxing.
We had the pool to ourselves most of the time.
Yeah.
So it was like a little private pool with a fantastic view. And we went to the night market here last night, didn't we?
Which was crap. Sorry.
Well, no, it's great if you want a t-shirt.
A fleece.
Fake. What?
But no food.
No food.
I was starving.
I thought we were doing the highlight.
Okay.
We're doing the highlights, aren't we? What we could talk about is the gold in our shopping mall today. That was quite extraordinary, wasn't it? And there were crowds of people sort of almost pushing past each other
Trying to get to it.
and pay for this extraordinarily expensive gold. So it was, do you remember how it was?
$2,000.
$2,000 for 35 grams.
And it's really bright yellow gold, which means it's pretty pure, so quite garish.
Really
Yeah.
garish, but I couldn't believe how many people were there fighting to sort of this.
Where do you reckon those people were from, though?
No idea.
I couldn't believe that they literally had £100 million worth of gold on that.
I know.
On that floor. No security.
No security.
As you were saying today, the dogs are the most laid-back dogs you've ever seen.
Yeah, and the cat.
Happy. They're really happy, the dogs.
No one chains up their dogs that we can see.
not like a
The
France.
dogs are allowed to roam around.
But they're not like wild, are they? They're not.
No, they're not wild, but they saunter
And the
around.
cats too, even the ones with the big bollocks are really funny.
I do think, though, you two have been dogged by noise on your trip. Every room we've got, we might end up on a different floor, for instance, and even this latest place, you're a floor below us, so you're a floor above where the breakfast, the foyer, the reception.
It's not that we're right at the top of the stairs where people congregate. So we are sitting opposite a lovely temple that you managed to see.
Because we've decided two things. We're templed out. Definitely. Although we passed a lovely temple today.
We went down Temple Street.
We did, and that we couldn't resist a good temple photograph.
One last temple of Angkor Wat to see them all.
Yeah, no, Angkor Wat's completely different.
Yeah. Laos, apparently there's so many unexploded bombs in this country.
Vietnam border.
Well, the US Embassy are discouraging US citizens from visiting certain parts of Laos because of unrest, apparently civil unrest. I don't see any civil unrest in this French restaurant.
Delayed your dessert anymore, there might have been some civil unrest.
We found it was an advantage to travel as four, didn't we?
Yes.
Because of, we could get minibuses to places. We didn't have to do tours.
Travel was cheaper, basically.
Much cheaper. So tell us about your onward travel. Where are you off to now without us?
Phu Quoc, it's an island south of Cambodia. South of Cambodia, but actually belongs to Vietnam. It's a Vietnamese island. It's quite a big island. It's really lovely. We've been hearing about all the rubbish.
So why did you choose that island?
The location and the season. It's guaranteed weather. Wanted to go to Vietnam, but East Coast, the weather's still rubbish on the East Coast. It's still raining gold.
Oh, okay.
And also, I have a girlfriend who went there for a few days, and she absolutely loved it. There's the longest cable car in the world on our island.
Oh, well, you might have things to do.
Goes to another island. Well, that's why I chose it, because Sophie likes things to do. She doesn't like to lie on the beach.
Yes, we have realised that Sophie is the walker of the group. Yeah. You do. No, you do like to walk. You do.
I'm like a cold after a while.
Yeah.
I like to do something.
You do. Tomorrow we're going to be in Cambodia. And
By the end of the day,
Yeah.
I've got to go via Bangkok.
And you guys are going to be in Vietnam.
Yes, by Cambodia. And we might meet up.
You never know. We might work back to the UK on the
13th.
So we may not see you till June. To my big birthday, which I'm not mentioning what it is. ...
It's been great travelling with you guys.
Oh, it's been lovely travelling with you too. It's nice to see you outside the sauna. I think we're all quite chilled in our way of looking at it.
Yeah.
Exactly. It was lovely to spend Christmas with you. Because you didn't have your kids. Your kids are skiing. Ours in Dublin. Yours in
Washing up.
Bristol. Washing up. Earning for her next travel experience. We're going to go to an island that's north of your island, but it's a Cambodian island.
Yeah.
So it's totally different.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It'll be much nicer your island than
Do you
our island.
think?
Yeah, it'd be
Well,
lovely.
if we're there and you're having a shit time, you can come and join us.
Yeah.
Cambodia is up next, and a totally new country for both of us.
And then I go to start work in the Siem Reap, and I study from the customer or the guest.
We visit Angkor Wat, which is now considered one of the 8th wonders of the world, with a comic Kiwi couple.
There was a lot of signs in Thailand for rum and cock. I'll take a rum and cock, hold the rum.
And we travel onwards to Koh Rong with some very fit Italians.
We've done one day, full day of jungle trek to see the gibbons, which...
You didn't see?
Yeah, I mean, we saw them quite far.
We saw them without trying, sorry.
Yeah. We know that.
It's very annoying.
This podcast has been created and edited by Ann-Marei McCormack with her collaborator and co-traveller Rod Gray. Music is by Serge Quadrado and Segvari, with the sound mix by Gary McIntyre. If you'd like to see pictures and videos of the places we've been to and the people we've met, please go to the Parents Gap Year Instagram page. And if you've enjoyed the podcast, please follow and share it. Thanks so much for listening.